Welcome to the Bare Bones Podcast. You slags.
Welcome to the Bare Bones Podcast, episode 2. We are joined this week, very special guest, Lars.
Thank you very much, mate. I made it, finally.
That's it, we've got Lars
Here
involved.
with nice Al.
He's here with nice Al, and we were chatting at work, and Lars was the obvious choice for the first guest.
After our questions with Lars, you need to come carry on.
Well, this is it. People are asking questions.
Exactly.
There's also a lot of people who think that I bully you a lot.
Well, they are not absolutely wrong.
So I just thought, get him on. We can clear it up. You know, I've said it before. I do it with love.
Exactly.
As in, I love doing it. You know? But you have been good about it.
Oh, yeah. I don't care about it, actually. I love it.
Because,
it's funny.
You know, if you go back, I used to have special ed. And I used to videotape special ed all the time.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But he was like,
there too.
He was good, you know. He used to sort of play up to the character of special ed, you know. Then he left, then got Queenstown's #1 player, Fletcher Austin. He became my next little project. He left, and then next thing you know, I meet Lars Zinner. So the questions with Lars thing has actually been way more popular than I thought it was going to be.
It's going off, mate. It definitely does.
I mean, I'm hearing you're getting recognised.
Yeah, heaps of times people ask me, so I know you. I haven't got a clue who these people are. But you play it, they ask me a question, of course I answer them.
Where was the last time you got noticed?
The last time was probably by Meat Preachers, just before lunch. We walked in there and a guy was on the phone actually and fucking was whining on the window and screamed over the complete park road, "Hey, Lars! It's like just turned around. It's like, I don't know that guy.
Screamed across the car park?
Yeah. Straight over it. And I walked over, gave him the hand, so it's gone.
Yeah. Sign a little
sign the autograph, exactly. But he had to go on the phone again, so and I got a good smoke.
So really, you know, I've pushed you into sort of minor celebrity status. Yeah. And now this is only going to boost that. I thought people need to see, you know, the man behind the legend, the real Lars.
The other legend, you mean?
The other legend. Yeah. I mean, it's a shame that this isn't a videoed thing, because Lars has turned up here to the Bare Bones studio and he's rocking a pair of socks with avocados all over. He's got an Adidas tracksuit tucked into the socks with his own name.
Not tucked into the socks, man.
Oh, it's not tucked. I look tucked in from there. He's got his initials printed on the tracksuit, and then he's got the matching top also with the initials on. I mean, it's a serious get-up you've got going on here. I mean, you've always been one for fashion. We know this. Turned up to the wedding wearing hiking boots.
Yeah, I thought the floors got a bit wet, you know, so I hate wet socks, so, you know, go for the hiking boots.
It's the German practicality.
Exactly.
It was
good dance shoes too.
It was smart up the top, shirt blazer, casual jeans, and then the boots ready to make a getaway.
Yeah, I was dancing, so I definitely don't get any blisters, you know. I need really comfy shoes.
Yeah. Some serious moves were thrown as well. I mean, we know your footwear is always on point. We were recently talking about your Timberland boots.
Yeah, love the Timberland boots,
So
can't go wrong with Timberland.
Lars was rocking. Were they the suede, like sand color Timberlands? They were.
Nah, they were like a dark brown. It's like in
like leather look.
leather, yeah.
Were they leather?
Yeah, of course they were leather.
Of course,
Of course, man.
And this was at what age? Like at school, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at school, probably 14, 15. I still got him. They're still
Well, I can
fit.
see here, you've got quite big feet.
Yeah.
So these boots that you were wearing back then must have been enormous on a little
Well,
13-year-old
I didn't
Lars.
grow basically since I'm 15. Like I'm same height since I'm 15, 14, 15.
Right, okay.
I didn't grow at all. I was thinking I'm gonna grow again, but
were you like a giant at school? Or was everyone that tall? Because I was the same age, the same
well,
height.
you were still little, mate.
Well, I was like the same height, I think, from I reckon 12 until I was about 17, and then I grew a bit.
Nah, I don't.
And then
you.
that's it. And then I'm where I am now.
Yeah. So for me, I grew 14, maybe 15, maybe I grew as well, maybe 2-3 centimeters. But that's it. My shoes all the time the same.
I just have this vision of like
same with my weight.
a little
same like I don't gain weight since I'm 16 or lose weight. I'm always between 70 and 73. Always.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's kilos.
Yeah,
'Cause,
kilograms.
yeah,
I don't know what's set in stone, but
I've no idea, man.
probably,
But I'm bulking hard now.
yeah, you're on fucking animal now.
I'm hitting about 62 kgs now. So
Oy.
I think it's probably about 9 stone, maybe.
You 9 stone.
Yeah, something. I don't know. I'd have to check, but I'm the lightest person I know.
So what is 1 stone, mate? That is like no one ever like.
Do you know?
I never hit that before in my life.
I don't even. When they say a stone, I'm not even sure if that is like if they mean a legit stone, like a rock, or not.
But
I've never.
What would you
questioned
say
it.
when you're born? So you have your size, you have your weight. So what was your half a stone or?
It's done in pounds, pounds and ounces. We're like England's in this weird half and half. All the road signs are in yards, cars are in miles, but we work in metric. Like when we build, it's in millimeters and stuff. So we're like,
but not like it just came there, innit? Or since when?
It's still like it's like the older generation, like my parents' generation, still work in. They like to call it old money.
Old money.
They go, oh, that's in old money, because we used to have different money, and it got changed to like metric money. Everything's in tens now, but it used to be like shillings and all this half crowns. So I don't really know. It was before my time, but yeah, it's annoying that it's half and half. But anyway, the point of the matter is, I'm an absolute unit. I'm hitting 62 kgs now. I weigh about the same as a sort of 12-year-old Kiwi teenager. See the size of them.
Yeah. Fucking scary looking cunts sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, they're a mad old bunch. So, when you came to New Zealand, firstly, why did you come to New Zealand?
Why did I come to New Zealand? I think the first thing was my sister was over here. So I was surprising my sister.
Is this the twin?
That's the twin, yeah.
Lars is a twin, in case anyone didn't know.
He's got a sister. 10 minutes younger than my sister. I've always been a gentleman, so I let her out first. You know, go for it. I stay 10 more minutes in the bed though.
Yeah, that sounds a bit more like it. Yeah. Lazy.
Love the warmth.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she was in Queenstown, and I travelled with 2 of my boys to Auckland. Started in Auckland first, just by foot. Walked up to Pahia, Russell. Didn't know what to do. Just hitchhike and say where you want to go, just up north, mate.
How far is that from Auckland?
Fucking don't know. We were 2 months on the foot, but we was
2 months walking.
Yeah, it was like we walked every day, but we like when the weather was good and the campground was beautiful, we stayed there.
Right. So you're carrying your tent, everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, that was good though. Then I stayed in. My sister was in Queenstown. and I had contact with my brother. He was having he was in contact with my sister, and then my sister was planning to leave Queenstown in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I was up per here, and I couldn't do it in that time, so I had to fucking book a bus straight to Auckland, and then from Auckland on the same day flew to Queenstown, and then I basically knocked on the door.
Yeah.
And then the boys were still up north for another month, and I enjoyed a month in Queenstown, expensive Queenstown, living the dream.
Yeah,
without
yeah.
money after a month.
Yeah, yeah.
Had to get a job, and since then I'm stuck, and I'm fucking loving it. Like,
And so when you were traveling up north, were they friends from Germany?
yeah, I have
Okay.
friends from Germany. We were planning first to make a world trip with a camper van around Europe, basically. Start in Europe and then drive all over
Yeah.
the place. And
That was my ambition at school too, man. Get the camper, the VW camper.
exactly.
Yeah, my friend Harry,
Yeah.
man, he mapped it out. He worked out like average distance and the cost of fuel. We had the whole thing mapped out, man. Price for everything, and then it just never happened. Left school, everyone got a job.
Well, that's
That
what
was the
we
end of
said.
it.
I found after my education as a carpenter, I couldn't stay at my company. It was like a small family company, so they
Not
couldn't
your
keep-
family.
Not my family.
We don't want you here.
Sadly not. But yeah, I had to find a new job, and my next boss was an absolute dickhead. So I quit there after 5 months, and then just done my own thing for a little while. And then went to the pub, and me and my two mates were sitting, drinking, playing cards. And I told them that I want to go and see my sister, and then the boy said straight away, "I'm coming with you," but it's like, no worries. Yeah, I had a beer on it, and on the next day we went straight to the travel center, and then booked the flight 2 months later. Like, the boys quit on the same week they quit both the jobs, and then that was it. Yeah, and one of the mates, David, he never left home more than 150 kilometers, never, and he was 24 in that stage.
Yeah.
And then the first time flying, the first time on the other side of the world.
That's almost the same for me. I'd been to Australia when I was, I was like about 4. Like I don't remember it at all, really. I was just a kid, and then our family holidays were always pretty much, well, they were all in England or Ireland. I don't think I ever really went on a vacation abroad with my family ever. So when I went to Australia when I was like 23 or whatever it was, 24.
Family love too much the English weather, is it?
Just like, you can't beat a good British sun, mate.
Yeah, lucky when you have 2 weeks summer.
Those days in between the rain, when it's peaking at like 14 degrees, you can't beat that.
Everyone is on the beach.
But I remember
Getting
taking off and being like, oh my God, this is the first time I've been in a plane that I can remember. And I thought I'd be really a bit nervous about flying, not really done it. But it was good, yeah.
You traveled alone there too, yeah?
Nah, I was with my friend Chris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was a long old flight as well. But luckily we were met at the other end by like family friends who we'd stayed with the first time I went there. So the only time I met them was when I was 4. And I turned up when I'm 24. And they were like they'd known me the whole time, oh, how's it going? Yeah. And I was like,
I know you were.
yeah, I've grown a little bit.
A little bit.
They noticed I was 60 kgs. They seen I'd grown a bit. So that was, yeah. But when you got here, could you speak English?
Barely.
Barely.
Not really, nah. Just the basics. I'd
say
words,
German
going.
Level
Well,
of basic English is higher than
To
English.
be fair, we
basic
had
level of
English
German.
in the school since the 5th grade, but I was shocking in school anyway.
Yeah.
I hated English. Like, I was never into English. And
Yeah.
I never thought I myself that I'm going to go in a country, English-speaking country, Don't need it, so...
Yeah.
And then in the end, I was biting my ass, and for fuck's sake, I should have listened to the
Well, it's so
teacher.
funny. Same thing. you know, where I used to live it's like you can see France across the water. It's that close. And I was like, I don't need to learn French.
Yeah.
I'm never, you know.
Yeah, never gonna be
Everyone there
it's like-
speaks English
Yeah.
anyway.
While the English people are fucking lazy about like languages anyway. It's like not a lot of English people reckon they have a second language.
Nah, a lot of English people struggle with English.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
I'm struggling at the moment with German though, after like
Yeah.
4 years over here. I don't know any
Yeah,
words.
I keep asking Lars for, what's the German word for that? And he's
Thinking.
can't remember.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm learning, like, I'm trying to learn anyway, but I'm only really learning like building terminology.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to Germany one day.
What's the skirting called,
I
man?
can't order like a meal or a cup of coffee, but I can tell them tape measure. Ask someone for a ruler, or I don't know, man.
Yeah. Why? That's good. You can get straight away a job, you know what I mean? And then you can learn how to order coffee. Because if you come to Germany and you have no money anyway, so you need a job, so you need to at least you have that knowledge
Yeah.
and the words for it, then you can make
I just
money.
need to learn. Can I have a cup of tea, please? That'll get me through most of my life.
Kann ich einen Tee haben, bitte?
Are you putting? Are we having milk in that? Because I had this problem in Europe before when I asked for milk, and they looked at me like I just took a shit in the middle of the restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I believe that straight away. It's like, fuck. Now you don't have milk. That's a proper English thing.
Yeah. Well, this is another thing. When I left England, there was a lot of things that I thought that's how everybody does it, and then you learn that it's actually you're the only people that do it. It's not even that some do it. It's like everybody does things different, and we do it a different way. And being English,
Yeah, I've
our
seen a lot
mentality
like
is
that
you're
since,
doing it wrong.
They all kick it off about it. It's like, whoa, hold on. Just because you don't know it,
Yeah.
just give it a track. Like now, now I'm drinking tea with milk as well, and I love it. So it's not too bad.
There we go. And I'm
But
eating
coffee's
sandwiches
still better. Like.
with just bread and meat, and I still think it's too dry.
Yeah, you can dip in the tea too, mate. Yeah, you dip everything. That's the thing. Like,
You got to dunk. You got to dunk. Yeah. There's a lot of things that you. I tell you another thing actually that you I never realised is special to your own country is certain words and phrases and things, because your English now it's pretty good, isn't it? Well, you can have this conversation.
yeah.
You have no problem understanding 99% of what we're talking about. Yeah. But there's a lot of slang in England.
Oh hell yeah, fucking hell. So many.
And it's
things.
like I've been trying a little bit
I mean,
to teach Lars Cockney rhyming slang, because that is one of my favourite.
having a bubble,
things.
is it? A bubble bar. Laugh.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh man. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, where I live, it's not something that people really use seriously much.
No,
There is places where they do talk like that still,
no.
but it's like we kind of do it in an ironic way a lot of the time. But there's definitely been a few times when I see your eyes just, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
But having a bubble, you've got that one.
I definitely got that one.
Every morning, all right, me old China.
Yeah.
You got that one.
China blade, mate. Yeah, got that.
It's funny because I tried to explain this Cockney slang to Ed, to special ed, because a lot of tools and stuff we have that as well. So like the spirit level, sometimes people used to call it the Gary Neville, the level.
Gary
And
Neville.
passes the Gary. I remember bricklayers, they used to mix up cement for the bricks. but they call that muck, like mud or mud. But then I heard some guys calling it Donald. Mix us up a bit of Donald there, bruv. And I was like, what do you mean Donald? And he was like, Donald Duck, muck. So that's like a slang on a slang. Mix a bit of Donald. So you've got to know they call it muck before you can figure out Donald Duck. You know? It's like a double.
That's true, yeah.
But we've had...
But you would never guess that, like, ever. It's
Nah.
Like when someone give us a Donald, it's like, no, what you
Give us
want?
a Donald. Yeah.
Sounds a bit gay, to be honest,
Is there any you can remember?
Huh?
Is there any other ones you can remember?
Other ones, so I just had them, old fruit, no, that's different, no, can't sound that.
What about let's have a little think of some good ones. The dog and bone.
Dog and bone. Ah, the phone, yeah,
The
true.
phone.
True, the phone.
You've got
Dog and bone.
apples and pears.
So you say, give us a dog. Give us a dog, or
Yeah.
no, yeah. Someone on a dog.
You got the other famous one is apples and pears. That's one most people learn. Apples and pears.
Cheers.
Oh, close. But no,
Stairs.
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 So you hear people like up my old apples. I remember. I mean, I don't think you ever met Little Dan and Sean Foley, couple of Luton boys. They were good for it. They knew a few corkers. They knew a few great little phrases.
I have to fucking start writing them down, just for the crack of it.
Like, I remember one day we were doing a little cash job. Dan was doing a big, like concrete patio thing. Now, like $1,000, a bag of sand. Make a couple bags. Pocket, skyrocket.
Skyrocket.
You know?
Give it to the
So
rocket.
he's like, we can, you know.
Oh, no, you said sky instead of rocket then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he would like, he's like, hey, if we twist our loaf on this one, we can hop in the motor up the road. We can make a couple of bags in the old back sky. You know? I'm like, I've got to have a minute to process this.
Yeah.
But I was talking about the tools. You know, sometimes we give the tools the thing. We were trying to come up with some new ones. Come up with some new slangs for some different tools or whatever. And Ed come up with Ollie Murs, who's like a pop singer in England, you know. The Ollie Murs. And I was like, ooh, let me try and figure it out. The Ollie Murs. And I was like, I couldn't get it. And it turned out...
Murs, what?
Remember this is Special Ed's come up with this?
Oh, yeah.
Hammer.
What?
And his logic behind it,
Oh,
he was
Ed.
thinking, hammer, Ollie Murs.
That is special.
Special is as special does. But you have, I mean, I'd say almost the majority of your friends here are Irish.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you've picked up some...
I learned English from the Irish, I would say, in the first year. So a lot of people actually say that I have a bit of an Irish accent. Or
It's not so much the accent, it's the phrase.
The phrase, yeah. But I hear it a lot that, like, when I go out or whatever, and people say, "Where are you from?" It's like, "You're Irish," or like. So, no,
maybe that's because you're a bit gingy as well.
Yeah. Maybe drink like the Irish.
Yeah, well, what are you drinking there? A little Max?
Three Wolf, mate. Pale ale.
Nice little drop.
Since 1981. A good drop.
Decent,
Jimmy. Decent.
But it's funny, you know, to hear you be German and then the phone rings. Hey, boy, what's the crack, boy? What's the story, babe?
Yeah. And then bit
You-
of Irish as well, you know. Comes to tattoo, for example. It's like, how are you?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure I'm good things. It's like Toma make ma or something. And then Makara is my friend, you know, the
Okay.
best friend. That's
You're
like,
educating me now, Lars.
yeah, every day.
Don't get too cocky. It's my podcast. No, I
Yeah.
don't know, man. It's one of them things like language and like slang in particular is something I've always really been interested in. You know, England's got loads of it, and then now you've got this new wave.
Oh,
Of
I
like
like the English slang.
the sort of
Sounds so
you've got the
good.
new wave with the like grime scene and all the UK rappers and that. And everyone's talking like, you get me, bro. You know, there's a whole new world of slang there. And it's like, that is a whole other realm, really. But that's been really cool. The Irish are mad for it as well. They got words coming out their ears that you just don't even know what they're talking
If they
about.
talk to each other, I'm lost there. Like,
And I remember meeting a French guy, and he was telling me I can't remember what it was now, but like if we do like an all night, you know, if you stay up all night to the morning, I think they call it a white night.
a white night.
A white night, or is it a black night? I think it was a white night, which would be like blanc. I can't think. I can't think of the word, but I just remember thinking that was really cool. You know, white night, having a white night, bruv.
Not a red night.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that one. But yeah,
Ask some Irish fellas there.
what's some like cool? In fact, today even, what was it when you seen that sort of older woman walking up the pathway? What was that one?
For the hit locks before the shots.
What was it? It's like from the back.
Say it in your slang, so it's the same thing, but say it in your slang.
We would say nice from far, but far from nice.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
But you're saying
They
it was like from the back,
like
you're locked on.
yeah, you.
Is that what it was?
So it's like it attracts you from the back, but as soon as she turns around, it's like shocking, you know.
Shocking.
Yeah,
From
absolutely.
the back, it's locking. From the front, it's shocking.
That's the one. Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's another great German slang?
Fucking hell. Like I said, it's hard to think about German.
Yeah.
slangs
It's just
when you just
completely
get
gone.
confronted.
Like, you know, even like beer, we'll call it beer. Get on the piss, on the terps, get leathered,
To
get
be fair,
smashed.
I would just.
We've got a million words for getting wrecked.
Yeah, I would actually. I'm just actually thinking about these English phrases.
The Irish call it getting locked.
Getting locked.
I don't know why that's, you know, going
smashed.
sideways,
Yeah,
getting twisted.
going for a bit of a hand.
And then in Germany, you say, hey, yeah, let's just go for a drink. That's it. There's got to be more to it than that.
Yeah. What do you say?
Getting loose. Getting messy.
Getting steil. Steil gehen. It's like going upwards.
Okay.
Steil.
Going
Steil
into
is
the
like.
stratosphere.
Yeah.
Going interdimensional.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, fucking hell. I can't fucking remember anything of it now. It's a shame.
Well, do a bit of research on your own,
Yeah.
on your own mother tongue.
Yeah.
Completely forgot how to speak your own language.
Yeah, I would, like, if I would go out to the boys back home and say, like, I would say, like, fucking go on the piss, you know? It's fucking.
Yeah.
Like, in English,
But
I would say.
if do you talk on like Skype or FaceTime or anything?
Yeah, not that often. And even then, it's, like, it is so hard. Like, the last year I came back after 2 years. Like, I wasn't home for 2 years. And as soon I landed in Frankfurt, and it was weird to read everything and understand it like instantly. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to think about anything. You know, you just read it and
It's
you
just
just
in
boom.
there.
And every conversation, because like I feel since I'm over here, I'm listening to people way better. You know, like
Yeah.
my brain concentrates way more on one conversation you having, instead of like to concentrate, you understand, you translate it in your head, you know, and then you get the
Yeah.
answer back or the question, whatever you want. But then I came home, but you can understand everything, but you can't answer back straight away.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So you still, like, I walk into a shop and say how's it going, you know what I mean? It's like not wie geht's dir? Like I wouldn't say that. It just
Yeah.
sounds weird, and
You're like,
people
"Hey, what's up, bruh?"
around you, like, you know, I couldn't have the radio on the telly and talk to people when I was back home for the first 2 weeks. It was
Right.
too much. Like I just could hear everything. You know what I mean? I could actually listen to everything and all the voices, noises that came into my head. And it's like, fuck, that is busy. Like I have to find now the German words to
Yeah.
that question, or whatever you fucking asking.
That's so
you know?
funny.
I would never ever guessed that it's going to be that hard, you know, but it is.
Yeah.
It's
I
just absolutely
had
weird.
a German friend in Australia, and he was saying he was really happy when he had his first dream in English.
Yeah,
He was like, "That's it. It's locked in there
It
now.
is, yeah. And
I'm dreaming in
I
English."
reckon I dreamed in English after a half a year over in New Zealand, you know,
Yeah.
just 24/7. Like me and my mates, we never had any German mates. We was thinking, it's like, look, we are over here. There are a lot of Germans, to be fair, but
Too many.
I have maybe 2 German friends over here since like ever, and it's
Yeah.
like it's good, you know. And even them, one of them is living here since like the last 6 years, so she's talking just English with me.
Do you miss it though? Bit
Not
of German
really.
conversation.
It's cool to fucking understand everything straight away without thinking about
Yeah,
it, you
yeah.
know. But then if you go
Do you
to,
think if there was like, if there was like a fire or something, and you had to
If I
like
would
panic,
scream, panic.
would you be naturally, do you reckon, straight to German?
say if something fucks up, so at work or something, when I'm alone, then I'm fucking saying like scheiße,
Yeah.
fuck, like, you know, I would. But then in other points, if I'm really annoyed, I'm speaking to myself in English as well, you know.
Okay.
Like
So the brain is
it's confused.
It's confused, mixed
Really?
up, big time.
Yeah, big time.
Well, I think you've done all right this evening.
Thanks, mate.
The test will be if anyone can understand what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'll get a load of messages now. But now, because the last podcast, it's the first one. I didn't expect it to do like amazing, but it's done all right. It's had a few listens and that.
Yeah.
So
Check that out, people. Check that out.
there you go. You heard it from the man himself.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you like that one, and if you haven't listened to that one, go back and listen to it. And if you like this one, then tell someone about it.
And then give Alex a shout, and maybe if you're lucky, you can sit here in the nice studio too and answer some questions, talk about some shit.
There you go. This is unpaid as well.
It's unpaid as well.
Completely free, yeah.
Yeah, maybe when you're lucky, a couple of beers in the fridge later on. You know?
Well, that's the thing about this podcast though. It's like when I do a painting or build something or whatever, I'm making something and I'm selling it, and I'm like covering my costs and I'm making money. Yeah. If I can sell a painting, it took me a long time to do it. It cost me whatever to do it, so I'll make that money back. With the podcast, it's costing me money for the software and the equipment and whatever, and my time, but there's nothing coming back from it at all. I'm doing it purely because I think it's like I enjoy doing it. So
yeah, it definitely.
do you know what I mean? It doesn't cost anyone anything to listen to it. So you're getting it for free, you cheap little bastards. Yeah. I've got no Patreon page. I've got no OnlyFans. None of that. I'm doing it for free because I think you deserve it, you slags. So that's it. We'll wrap it up there.
Yeah, and then just saying, if you are interested in a painting, I just see around some beautiful paintings. They are probably to sell as well, innit?
Everything's for sale, mate.
Everything is for sale for the
Everything's got a
right price, you know? Even some Mara. The painting, I mean.
That painting is going nowhere.
Yeah.
My girlfriend is not available for sale in any form. I think we'll leave it there, will we? All right, we'll leave it there. Sayonara.
See ya.